Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That $40-ish and $100 range, most of these are way less than that. And a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. I have one for you guys here today that I've been seeing pop up at my rack stores a lot, specifically Burlington. It comes from a pretty popular line, but I think that this particular one has really flown under the radar. So I'm going to try to show it a little bit of love. And that is Bentley for Men Black Edition. It's got like a little brushed kind of a look right there. And if you see the glare there, that's going to get taken away immediately. Well, as soon as I can. This is metal. The atomizer cap itself is metal. Little detailing on the top of it there. Has a little bit of weight. Slides real nice into place. It almost sounds like it clicks, but I'm kind of making it do that. It just slides real good into place. And the atomizer itself is tiny. Doesn't squirt out much, but a little more than my intense version. So this fragrance opens up with a little bit of tangerine, a dose of pink pepper, nutmeg, and
violet.
I feel like the tangerine is subtle, but it's adding a bit of sweetness to it. There's also papyrus and patchouli. This is earthy, a little bit of incense, some kind of powderiness. Overall, you would think that this is going to be a dark black fragrance, but it's anything but. It's anything but. This is a green fragrance. To me, this is a little more green meets the blue world, if you will. It doesn't have like anything aquatic going on. Violet can sometimes throw a little bit of an aquatic vibe, and there's just like hints of that in here, but it's more taken from the powdery floral side of that, with the powderiness and dustiness and earthiness of like the patchouli and the tonka bean. So this is more of a green fragrance. I think the papyrus really plays a heavy role in that, and so does the cedar. There's a few different kinds of woods in here, and cedar is one of them. And the incense isn't something that's just like throughout the fragrance, but you discover it here and there while you're wearing this thing. You'll smell it for a few minutes, it'll go away, and smell it again. It kind of keeps me interested in it while I'm wearing this thing. One thing I will say is when I first sprayed this on my skin, I thought, well, this thing is, it's more uplifting than I thought it would be. It's fresher than I thought it would be. A little bit of powderiness, airiness, and I thought that it was going to be real light. I didn't think it was going to last very long. About 2 or 3 hours later, I just squirt like a squirt on my hand, and I keep getting smacked in the face with it a little bit. And I noticed that this thing is actually lasting 6 to 7 hours. It's not a beast, but it certainly is not lacking in performance. It hangs on. Like the scent bubble you get is like a 3 or 4 hour good scent bubble. It doesn't, after like, that 45 minutes, it doesn't reel back in. It stays right there. And then for about an hour and a half, it reels back in and disappears altogether. So overall, it's like a 6 to 7 hour fragrance on me. Some of you guys might get even longer. I don't really see anybody getting too bad a performance. You might think you are because olfactory fatigue, going nose blind to the thing, but I think this and the other Bentleys, they perform pretty good. So like I said, the main players in this are going to be the violet leaf, a little bit of sweetness and spiciness, and that earthiness. The incense is just there, adding a little bit of uniqueness in a will. If I guess this doesn't smell like everything else. It doesn't smell like any one fragrance to me whatsoever. It has elements in a way that remind me of Aqua Sensuale. The way that Aqua Sensuale, for me, the way that it acts, it's like the geranium will pop out at me here and there, not throughout the whole fragrance. This one does that with the incense, and they almost act the same in those two fragrances, which is kind of weird. And side note, I saw this on Walmart.com for under $10, and this is like a powdery, citrus, woody, somewhat sweet, aquatic, office friendly. Performance is nothing to brag about or nothing. Some people I think get good performance. Eau de Parfum is from Lattafa, a Jazzy Silver for under $10 for a 3.4 ounce. Smells like The Office from what I understand from Jeremy Fragrance, Fragrance 1. It's a nice smelling fragrance. It smells really good. So for under $10, I would just roll the dice on it. You know what I mean? So back to this one. It's just both the same colors pretty much too. And these are both, that one and this one, are both excellent everyday fragrances. This thing is awesome for the spring. It's going to be decent for the fall. Really good for the summer. The gym, a squirt or two, because like I said, it's going to hang out on you and you'll smell it. And like I just put that one squirt in my hand and I was getting it. So if you do like 1 or 2 sprays, it'll be good for that. It's really good for the office. It's an excellent leisure, go out and do your errands and your chores and stuff like that, day off kind of a fragrance. It's a good casual fragrance. I can see how some people could take or leave this thing, but there's other people that are going to love this thing. I really enjoy it. I think it's a very good scent, and I'll give it a 7 out of 10. 6.5 just on the smell alone, another half a point because it performs pretty good. It's a 7 out of 10. It can be enjoyed by anybody. I think it's a little bit more mature than it is youthful because of how much of like the violet, incense, woods, and spiciness is in here. But it's not overly spicy. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a grown-up feel. And again, like I said, summer, fall, spring. It's a great spring fragrance because it's green. It's a green fragrance. I'd say 70% green, 30% blue. A little bit of powderiness. I love a good earthy powderiness. It's almost like a wet earthiness thing in here. Like a wet earth with those woods. And the main players on top of that being like that violet, the powderiness, the little bit of sweetness from that tangerine, pink pepper, some of that incense, just doing little wafts of smoke in there here and there. And you got this one. So for what it is, I think it's a nice fragrance. And if any of you guys have this one, let me know what you think about it, how long it lasts on you guys, and let me know if I might be overhyping this thing. It's not like some mind-blowing fragrance, but I think this thing is really good and deserves a little bit more love than what it gets. It's just that I feel like this one and Absolute, like this is the only other one that I have, and the original just outshine this thing, and it's a shame because it's a good smelling fragrance. So yeah, that's my final thoughts on Bentley for Men Black Edition. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.